Hey FlossTube, hope you're all well. My name's Kerry, this is Colourfully Cross Stitched, my YouTube channel where I talk all things cross stitch with some book recommendations thrown in at the end as well. And today's book recommendation list will be all about spooky books just in time for the Halloween season, so stick around for those if you're interested. In my last FlossTube, I forgot to say that I wouldn't be back for 3 weeks, not 2. Probably nobody noticed, but just in case, I'll let you know, we were just on holiday. We went to Spain, a place called Nerja, which is near Malaga. It was very, very hot, but it was very nice for the 4 of us to just spend some time together. We had 100 rounds of Uno going. Does anybody else play Uno on holiday? It's yeah, definitely one of our family traditions. So yeah, we just spent time together by the pool, all of that jazz. Because my eldest is about to go off to university, so he got his A-level results, what he needed, got into the university that he wanted, got the accommodation that he wanted, so it's all systems go. So yeah, so that's why it's been 3 weeks and not 2. But yeah, I will just jump into the usual. I've got whips, new starts. I have some autumn and or fall plans. Nothing too groundbreaking, but a couple of new projects sneaking in, and also some goals. I'm trying to set myself some goals, so I'll talk about that in a little bit as well, and then a little bit of haul, and then, like I said, the book recommendations. So the first one, as I always start with, is the Stitchers Book Club sale. So I'll pop a picture up of where we are with that one. We have Jules Verne is still the last section that came out. The new one will be out on the 1st of September, so looking forward to that. This is where I got up to last time, and I think I've done quite a bit on this one since then. So everybody, Agatha has eyes. So last couple of times I've shown this one, Agatha Christie has not had any eyes, but she now has eyes. We've also got the portraits of Miss Marple and Hercule Poirot up in the top corner here. I've also moved along and done the outline in the Stephen King section of It, the Clown, and the lady from Misery, and I can't remember her name, but yeah, so that's there with the blood dripping down. And I think I've filled in a little bit more, couple of the books, the purple and the dark blue book on this section down here as well. So yeah, obviously still enjoying this one. Getting round to the top layer. More Stephen King will be next. That typewriter in the Agatha Christie section was so much fun to stitch. But yeah, so still loving it. Still looking forward to getting more parts out. And yeah, it's just a really good one, again, to stitch on when I just want easy counting, because a lot of my stuff is 32 count and this is 16 count. I know it's the same, but it's not quite the same, is it? Because there's, you know, 2 over 2, all of that jazz. So yeah, that's that one. The next one is Barbara Anna. This one I've not stitched on quite as much, but here's the She Mad Hatter Dreams, and it is, this is where I was up to last time. So not a lot of progress, but a little bit more in her hair. So there's a few more dark orange parts in there. So still loving the colourway on this. What I will say is it is starting to get a bit dark out here, so shadows might be a little bit of an issue, but there is nowhere else for me to film. So unfortunately, hopefully there won't be too many shadows, but yeah, so loving how this one's looking and excited to get back to doing more on that one. So that's those two. The next is Harry Potter. So this is the Clouds Factory pattern. So the last time, I don't know, you may remember or not, I had a bit of an issue with the metallic. So I was using the DMC, just normal metallic, and as it was pulling through, it felt like it was ripping the fabric, the thread, everything. So I did ask for some recommendations for other metallics, and loads of you came through with recommendations, so thank you so much. The overwhelming majority was either Petite Treasure Braid or Krynic. I didn't go with either of those. Another one, the third one, was the DMC Diamante. So a couple of people had said that they really enjoyed using that, and maybe me not wanting to wait, I found it quite difficult trying to find either a Petite Treasure Braid or Krynic in the UK. I might be completely wrong, I'm be looking in all the wrong places, but we were about to, it was actually A-level results day, so we were about to go into town, and my local Hobbycraft I pre-ordered so I could nip in, run in, grab it and come out. So I've got the silver and the gold of that, and I've been using that and it is so much better. So thank you. I think Cross Stitch Sarah said that one, and a couple of other people as well. So thank you so much, because that's absolutely saved the day. So this is where I got up to last time. Not a big start, and like I said, I had to then frog the gold that was there already. And so yeah, this is where we're up to now. So I have done the HP, and there are a couple, well, 3 actually, golden snitches up in the top. I've kept the colourway of the blue, but here in the green, these 2 are fine, but this had a bit of red in it as well. But I just didn't feel that was quite right for Slytherin. Slytherin is silver and green, so I have changed the red to silver in these top 2 leaves here that stick out either side. And then over this side there is the Gryffindor colours will be of yellow and red, which is fine. I'm not sure if it's going to look a little bit off balance, so I am going to do some thinking about how I want the leaves to go. It might be that these 2 remain green. There are 2 more down this side. I might do those in silver, and then over here with the Gryffindor side might do 2 red and then 2 yellow down the side. I'm not sure yet. I quite like things to be a little bit symmetrical, so so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this gold thread is so much nicer to work with. So yeah, sorry, I do think shadows is going to be a problem today, but other than putting the big light on, the overhead light, which does nobody any favours, I might have to just work with it and try and speed through. But yeah, so I am really chuffed with that. As I said before, as I'm stitching it, this is on Vintage Country Mocha, but as I'm stitching this one, I'm also listening to the Harry Potter books. So listening to Philosopher's Stone to start with. Forgot how much I actually enjoyed. I hadn't forgotten. I knew that I enjoyed the stories, but it's been such a long time. And then the films don't have as much in it as obviously the books do, so I've really been enjoying getting back into the books and listening to Stephen Fry read them to me as I'm stitching. So I'm trying to stick to just listening to it as I am stitching on this pattern to help make me motivated as well to keep going with the pattern. But yeah, I have also been listening to it other times as well. So it's just such a great story, and I figure I've got quite a few hours to go with that story in total. So but yeah, so loving that one. Next up is the Pointed Fifth, so Long Dog. So yeah, I'm doing the Crafty Emily colourway, which is all pinks, greens, blues and purples. So really loving stitching on this as well. And so actually I did forget to say about the Harry Potter one as well. I have statistics, so I've been using Markup RXP, so Harry Potter is in that. I've managed to get that in there, and I'm currently at 2.68% on Harry Potter, which actually I thought was not too bad. I thought that was quite good. I figured it would take a bit longer to get to that percentage, but obviously it's not full coverage or anything. So yeah, really chuffed with that. And then the Pointed Fifth is at currently 1.11%. So yeah, but managed to get in the boar. I think it's a boar, not a pig. I don't know. But yeah, just loving stitching all the pink in this. So where the line is at the bottom, that is where that colour finishes. Then there will be 3 rows of this colour, and then the next colour, and then obviously then the next colour after that. But it does go quite a way along. But yeah, just really enjoying how this one's coming together. It's just really nice to stitch, well, the one colour pink at the moment. I know there's blue there, but it's just quite nice just to stitch one colour. And when I'd got the pattern, I hadn't realised. I figured that all of these were the same pattern all the way along, but they're not, which I think is great. I haven't gone wrong. I've been following the pattern, but but yeah, it's just such a nice one where you stitch and then more comes out that you didn't realise was in there. So so yeah, different patterns in the top all the way along, which is great. Keeps you interested. So yeah, really enjoying stitching on this one as well, and looking forward to getting some more of the animals in there. I think there's a jumping hare next, so that'll be a fun one to stitch. What is next? Oh yeah, I would say that my 1.11%, sorry, I'm looking at my notes over in the corner, means I have stitched 758 stitches, which leaves me with a grand total left of 67,253. That number, because I put that into Markup RXP, I was like, that can't be right, can it? I'm even looking at it now going, that can't be right. But apparently so. So unless Markup RXP is lying to me, or I've put the pattern in incorrectly, then yeah, there's quite a way for me to go on that one. But anyway, still enjoying it. Still only up 1%. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much where I'm up to with that one. Then next I have got the Medicine Poison Witchy Stitcher pattern that I started with Rose Cottage Creates M. So but yeah, I haven't got too much further in this. This one requires a lot of attention and a lot of thought needs to go into it, because I need to work out what colours I'm using. So because I'm doing a different colourway. So this is where I got up to last time. So all I have really done on this version, you know what I mean, is added in the skull. So so that's been added in, and I don't know if you can see, I may frog the really bright pink in the skull, because I'm not sure it really works there. I don't know, I might, I don't know, looking at it on there, maybe it doesn't look so bad, but I might see how it works out with the rest of the pattern once I've got the skeleton in and things like that. But yeah, so still loving this one, still loving the different colourway, and the pink. There's a lot of pink stitching at the moment, I think, which I'm loving. I'm not complaining. So yeah, that's where I'm up to with that. And then I have also got that into Markup RXP, but I forgot to write down the statistic of it. I think that probably takes me to about 7% on that one. I haven't got a Stitches Book Club in there, and I haven't got Barbara Anna in there either, but yeah, those are the only ones that I've really got any statistics on. So but yeah, I'm actually really enjoying using Markup RXP as well, because it just, I don't know, there's just something really satisfying with ticking off all the boxes that you've stitched. Like I said before, I'm used to just using PDF and just working off that, but yeah, being able to mark them all off is really motivating for me. So, and that also feeds into some goals in a little while, so I'll talk about that in a bit. Next up is not very much progress at all on the Emerald City Sal. I'm rubbish at keeping up with sals. I really am. I get really excited, go all guns blazing, wanted to get involved in everything, and then when it comes to starting it, I do maybe do the first part, and then after that it's like I don't then end up keeping up with the deadlines. I don't know, is anybody else the same? But every time I hear that there's a sal there, I'm like, oh, I want to join, but I've really got to rein it in. I've got so many patterns on the go at the moment, so and I really want to get them finished. So but anywho, Emerald City, again, like I say, I haven't got very far, but this is where we are. So I think last time I'd already done some of these, so I've just come down a little bit further with the yellow and then started on the purple flower on that one. So and like I said before, I haven't started where everybody else has started either, so I started right slap bang in the middle. Lots of people started in the bottom corner because that's where the story starts, but yeah, I'm still enjoying it. It's on the Q-snap. I don't know why I've got this one on the Q-snap and none of the others. Yeah, I don't know, I just quite like the feel of this fabric, which is a Evertote fabric with Weeks Dye Works threads and classic Colourworks threads on there. So, and Needleminder from Laura, Cotton and Clay UK. So yeah, not too much further on that one, and I have to say, I have to admit, I don't even know the dates dates of when the next part is meant to be finished. I don't think it's the end of August. If it is, then it ain't going to happen by the end of August. But yeah, I think I've got the lion and maybe the Tin Man in that section as well. So a little bit to go on that. Stitching rules, I've done no more on. Again, that's a Sal, and I haven't kept up with that one either. And I haven't done any more on the Alice tree. So those two I really need to catch up on now. So then I think that's it for whips, because moving into new starts. So I've got the chopping maul, which I've spoken about before, and I had the really stiff Ada. Went to again, the name escapes me. What is it? It's I can't think what this is called. It's Zweigart, but it's like a cloudy one. But anyway, this is where which way up is this even? I think it's that way up. So yeah, again, I think this is pretty much where I got up to with the last one, but yeah, so it's just the outline of the one of the booths in the not chopping, it is chopping, but you know what I mean, mall. So I've been marking off 10 stitches, because this is a double border on this particular booth. So just to help with my sanity, every stitch there is 10 stitches, so I can then just go around and I don't really have to think about what I'm doing. But yeah, just really looking forward to getting into the weeds with this one and getting them done. My initial idea was to get the whole outline of the shopping mall done, but I just don't think that that's going to keep me occupied enough. My stitching this with a friend Hannah, and yeah, Quirky Hannah on Instagram. She is streets ahead. I think she's doing it for a friend, and yeah, she's already done pretty much the whole outline. She's such a quick stitcher, and I'm like, that's how much I've done. So but yeah, I've been looking forward to getting into the little booths. I think this one is the Freddy Krueger booth, so excited to do that. If anybody remembers that, he used to scare me. I don't know if anybody remembers the films from back in the day. Definitely used to scare me. Didn't even like looking at his picture, but in magazines or anything. And this needle minder is also cotton and clay, so Laura had to get that one. The voodoo doll just fit the theme completely. So that is a new start. Technically that's a new start, but yeah, so like I say, looking forward to getting back to that one. Aren't we all? Looking forward to getting back to all our whips, we all say it. And then when I was on holiday, I took with me, so I bought the Witchy Stitcher book, which is amazing. I bought the PDF of it. I really want the hard copy of it, but I'm not going to buy 2 different copies of it, and I figured the PDF was better because I prefer to stitch from my screen, because any paper patterns that I've got, sometimes I catch myself trying to zoom in, trying to extend the screen on a paper pattern to see it better, so it's probably best that I do stick with PDFs. But anyway, so I bought her book, which is amazing, so many great patterns in there that I want to stitch, but as we were going on holiday, I thought I needed a small one to take with me. I think I only bought it, or it only came out a day, or maybe even a day just before I went away. So I was scrabbling around all of my stash that I had so I could do one of the bookmarks in it. So and I thought that I actually quite fancied doing the I'll put a picture of it here, the Merry Creepmas bookmark. So and actually she does a really good tutorial inside the book of how to get it into a bookmark shape. So I thought actually that would be really cool. So this is where I've got up to. I'm just putting the orange behind so you can see, but yeah, Merry Creepmas. Did I have to frog? Yes, I had to frog. I had to frog this one. I did the E too far down, and then the P came too far down, so I had to undo that and then put them all back up again. But yeah, so this is obviously the wreath. We'd have seen a picture anyway, but yeah, so while I was on holiday in 25, in fact even hotter than that, sometimes 30-degree heat, I was stitching Christmas. So I missed Christmas in July, I didn't do it, but I just thought, well, I want a small one. And this is a 14 count black Ada, so quite stiff, but I figured stiff Ada is really good for bookmarks. I quite like a stiff bookmark, so yeah, so I'm quite chuffed with getting that done. Doesn't seem like a lot. I was also stitching the model for my own pattern, which was Halloween, while I was away. Haven't finished that one, but just wanted something like small, so I took that one away with me. So So yeah, those are the 2 new starts. Have I got anything else on new starts? No, I haven't, but I have seen so many new sounds that are out and about. There's a Satsuma Street. Well, actually, I suppose we could go into plans now. So autumn and fall plans. Obviously autumn in the UK. But yeah, there's lots of sales around. There's the Time for Tea sale. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I mean, let me go back to Satsuma Street. So Satsuma Street has got a Christmas house. I think she did a monster house before, which I didn't stitch, but I've seen pictures of the Christmas house, and there's a sleigh in front of the door, and it just looks adorable, and the colours are bright. It's not, she says, not going to be a gingerbread house because there's too much brown, and she doesn't like stitching too much brown, so this is going to be really colourful. And I thought, well, do I join that one or not? And I thought, no, Kerry, because you're rubbish at keeping up with sales anyway, so don't bother. So I haven't with that one. But there's also the Tea Time sale, which Stitching Bee and quite a few others are stitching, and I've been tempted to join that one as well. But then I thought, Kerry, you don't even really drink tea, you drink coffee, so is there any point? I just get FOMO. Does anybody else get FOMO with sales? I always feel like I'm going to miss out. But yeah, so haven't joined that one either, trying to rein it in. But what I did see were 2 sales that were going to run, but that I could incorporate my whips into at the same time. So I thought that was a good compromise. So Thistle and Thread has got 2 Ds at the end, is running Season of the Witch sale, and that's running from the 1st to the 30th of September. So I thought, well, that's perfect because I can do the Witch's Hollow for that. Now, you wouldn't have seen the Witch's Hollow in my whips because I need to restart that one. So might as well go into that now as well. But the my original fabric was this one, and I didn't really like how orange it was. I think it comes up much more orange on camera, and it'll be interesting to see what it looks like against the new fabric that I bought. But it is quite pale. I think that's probably more of a representation for what it's like than all the way back here. It looks really orange here, it really isn't. So yeah, so I did start it and then didn't like the fabric, so then ummed and ahed, and then decided to order some orange fabric from Lakeside Needlecraft. So I've gone with Zygote Pumpkin, which is much more orange. Is that just, yeah, see, that is much more orange compared to this one. So you can see how pale this one is, which didn't look like it on the picture. And obviously I will use this for something else as well. But I just think I wanted more of an orange, and that is definitely more orange than my original. So so yeah, that will become part of my autumn fall plans. So yeah, Witch's Hollow. I'm sure you all have seen it, and are probably, a lot of you are stitching it. Oh, got random random needle stuck in there. Such is the life of a cross stitcher. But yes, I'm sure everybody's seen it. My original plan was to start this for Adelaide Stitch's birthday, which was around in July. I knew that I was going to be a bit late to the party in that one anyway. I am really late to that now, so I'm not even going to bother joining that one because I'm sure some people have probably already finished it. But actually, Season of the Witch, it's got witches on it, so that's my plan for stitching on that. Then Steph.x Stitch. So Steph's running Fantasy Fall sale, which is running from September to November. So basically stitching on anything fantasy. And the hashtag is Fantasy Fall Sale 2025. So for that, I am going to be stitching Harry Potter. I've just decided that I will join that one and then share progress if I need to, whatever, with the hashtag. For that one, definitely fantasy, and is something that I'm stitching on, want to make lots of progress in. So so yeah, I think for that, for Harry Potter and for the Witch's Hollow, so by the end of September, October, November, so 3 months of autumn, fall, I would like to get up to 10% on my Harry Potter Clouds Factory pattern, which is currently at 2.68%. And I would also like to get up to at least 10% on Witch's Hollow. So I've not put that, that's in Pattern Keeper, but obviously I've not properly stitched on it yet, so I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to get to 10%. Hopefully, well, I'm not even going to say it, but I'd love to get that finished by Halloween, which is in 2 months' time, but I know what I'm like, and it's just not going to happen because I've got so many other patterns that I want to stitch on as well. So we'll see how I get to. If I can get a way into that one, that'd be great, but I've put a 10% goal on that one. And I think that's the way to go, is just setting goals for myself. I'm a bit of a mood cross stitcher and also a mood reader, in that if I set myself, right, I'm going to finish this one by X date, or I'm going to read these sets of books in autumn or whatever, then I won't do it, because I am very much a mood reader, mood cross stitcher, want to work on what I want to work on in the moment, otherwise it sucks the fun out of it. But I think if I have set myself goals of 10% on this, 5% on that, whatever, that might help me progress things and not feel like I absolutely have to work on a certain pattern at a certain time. So that's how I'm going with what I'm going with at the moment, but we'll see how that goes. So carrying on with the goals, I then have, with the pointed fifth, I would like to get 2 lots of colours done. So at the moment, although I've done, what did I say, 1.11% on that top pink, I'd like to get all the way to the end of that pink and then do the next 3 rows of blended as well. If I can get to that stage by the end of November, that would be great. What else? The Alice tree, I would like to try and get 2 layers of that tree done by the end of November. Barbara Anna, I'd like to get the face and the hat done by the end of November. You're all probably laughing hysterically, going, well, you're never ever going to do that. And then I'd also like to get caught up with the Emerald City and the Stitching Rules Sals as well. I also have 2 other plans for the autumn, which is Saga. So Long Dog Saga, which I started. I'll put a pattern here I'll put a picture here of the pattern, and then where I got up to before. In my last FlossTube, I mentioned that I wanted to do more of a pink ombre on the Long Dog Saga, and so I'm just waiting for some threads to arrive, but I am going to stick with the fabric colour that I had as well. So I cannot tell you how long it took me to come to this decision. 3 or 4 days ago, once we got back from holiday, I was just sat in this room on the floor thinking, what on earth colours am I going to use? I know I want to use pink, etc. So then in the end I pulled out the DMC card, big chart, and just went with colours that were in like a block. So I've got, so this is obviously still the fabric, and I have frogged the old pattern out of it, so it's all gone. But so I'm going to be going with, hold on, these are not in the right order, and there are more to come as well, but and I will be putting them on floss drops, not on bobbins. But yeah, so I don't know, can you see? So there's going to be a paler one up here, a darker 1 or 2 down here. What is there? There's 5 rows, so is that 3, 4, 5, and then I'll need another pink to go all around and do all of the columns and stuff. So I've got all of them coming, not all of them, 1 of each one to start, just to make sure that I'm happy with the colourway, and then I'll make a start on that. And I don't know which corner I'm going to start in this time. Last time I started in the bottom corner, but I might just start in the top again this time. But yeah, so looking forward to making a start again on Saga, and probably would love to get to 1% of that by the end of November as well, which would be awesome. Then I bought another Long Dog. I know, what am I doing? But so Jules came out with Latitude, so Long Dog samplers, Jules, Latitude came out, which I'll put here, and I just thought, do you know what, I really want to stitch that one as well. So I did buy the pattern, and then thought about colourway, because ideally what I'd also want, so with the I'm going on a sidebar here, but with the pointed fifth, I absolutely love the colourway of that, and while you're stitching along that way, you don't really need to think about the colour, because you're just stitching on that one colour and things. Saga will kind of be the same, where I've got the different colours, ombre, etc. But I really just wanted to stitch one colour for the whole of a long dog. So I decided that Latitude would be that. And I'm rummaging down here because I've got, so the colourway that I want to do, this is the petrol green that the Barbara Anna is on. So I've ordered a massive size fabric for this, and then I also want to stitch it with the colour that I've gone for is yellow. So 743. So yeah, is that as green as it is? That's probably more, I don't know, it's funny, isn't it, with cameras, they never pick up properly. But yeah, so I just decided I was going to do petrol green, which I absolutely love this colour. I also have 2 more of this size, but obviously that doesn't fit a long dog, so I had to buy a new one. And yeah, so with the yellow, so all I've got to do is just stitch it all in one colour. Don't have to think about changing colours, all that jazz. And yeah, so looking forward to doing that as well. But again, that will be a goal of 1%. So I haven't actually added up or even looked at how much stitching that's going to take for me to do, but it is what it is. Oh, Stitchers Book Club, I also want to try and get a whole bookcase done, so I think I'm going to make my way along where, so Agatha Christie's done, started on Stephen King, and then it's I nearly said Washington Poe then because of the books that I'm reading, M.W. Craven's books, the Poe, Edgar Allan Poe, that section, and then the top bit. If I can get that done by the end of November as well, then that would be great. But that means that gives me some goals to aim for, but also a little bit of leeway in which pattern I want to stitch on that day. So hopefully that will work, because like I say, if I say, right, by the end of October I am going to have finished Witch's Hollow, well, A, that's not going to happen, but also I just get bored. I like to jump between the two. Mood stitcher, mood reader, all of that. So so yeah, hopefully those goals will magically somehow happen. But right, I'm going to move into haul now. So along with this fabric that I got for Witch's Hollow, the pattern from Long Dog and the Witchy Stitcher book, I went a little bit needle minder crazy this time. So last time I said I bought Lindsay Stitching Magic 111, a needle minder from Lindsay. So, and this one arrived. So love this. Oh, I've just seen also she's adding a mushroom needle minder pattern, not pattern, mushroom painting needle minder to her shop when she relaunches stuff on the 1st of September, which just looks adorable. So but I can't keep buying stuff. I really can't keep buying stuff at the moment. And then, oh, this one, I asked Charlie Feathers if she could do me an Alice in Wonderland esque needle minder. Obviously Charlie quite rightly said, well, that's a little bit tricky because copyright, etc, etc. But so we sort of batted around with a couple of ideas and stuff, and because it's the Mad Hatter's tea party, then Charlie's done a stack of teacups. So absolutely love this one. Thank you so much, Charlie, this was brilliant. So so yeah, I went with this one, and I'm kind of thinking, actually, if anybody is in the time for tea sale, then how amazing would this needle minder be? And Charlie has the most like amazing magnets on the back of hers as well, but they don't budge, which is great. But yeah, so absolutely love that one. So thank you, Charlie, absolutely love it. So that's that. And then I went a little bit mad and went with, sorry, I'm out of sight, all my stuff is down here, I don't have a desk in front of me. So I went shopping on Stitch Happens, the shop is called, to get some needle minders on there. I actually bought 5. Does a girl need too many needle minders? Well, yes I do. So so I bought this one, which is has a witch's hat on it, so thought ideal for Witch's Hollow. A little pumpkin in there as well to go with the pumpkin. This one I got, I should have said, I don't know if I did, is called Pumpkin. So is that focusing? Hello? I hope it's focusing. There we go. So so yeah, absolutely loved that one. So that will go on Witch's Hollow. I then bought a ghost reading a book, because, you know, I'm all about the reading. Might put that on Stitcher's book club while it's I'm stitching it in the October, just to be a bit more spooky, but also maybe with my own patterns, a Halloween pattern for my Etsy store. But yes, I bought that one. I then also got this one. So this is it's actually a glow in the dark one as well. So absolutely love this one. This could go anywhere really. This could go on chopping mall because it's such a big pattern. I would probably need 2 needle minders with 2 different needles, etc., with different colours. But yeah, so loving that one as well. 2 more. I thought this was quite funny because of my mood stitching and things. I thought, well, actually, do I also choose a pattern each month to focus on? But whether I'll do that or not, but I just thought actually that's this hyper focus, so could add that to whichever pattern I'm currently stitching on. But just really like that one. And then my favourite of these is I'm going to pull up the pattern that it's going to go on as well, because I don't think I could have found a more appropriate needle minder. Bear with, I might actually stick it on there as well. But obviously this is the poison one, but look at the needle minder. I mean, could it be any more appropriate? A skull in a poison bottle? Come on. Like, I had to get that. Look at the colours, it's all purple and pink. There was no way I could pass that one up. So so yeah, absolutely had to get that one. There's a close-up of it. So yeah, absolutely had to get that one. Love it. And yeah, I think that is then it for haul. I've got more fabric coming, as don't we all. I don't even know what I'm going to use, that apart from the long dog fabric, the big petrol green one. I have other fabric as well. I've joined another fabric of the month club. Can't remember now what that was. That's bad, isn't it? That's really bad. I can't remember who it was now. Oh, Coffee Craft Fabrics, there we go. So I've joined their fabric of the month. So that's what the Stitches Book Club sale fabric is from. And a few others I've actually also bought from there as well, and they're really good. So so yeah, bought more stuff to come, but trying to rein it in. I think I said that last time and I've gone way overboard. So so yeah, we'll see. But anyway, this has now been filming for about 40 minutes. So if you're just here for the stitching, then thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to go into some spooky book recommendations, which I've got quite a lot down here. So it might be quite a long video, this one, but we'll see where we get to. But yeah, so if you are just here for the stitching, thank you so much for watching, and I'll move on into books. So I have got quite the list. First, I will just talk about 2 books that aren't Halloween stitchy, aren't Halloween related, but this month I have read The Favourites by Lane Fargo. Absolutely loved this one. About, obviously from the front cover, it's about ice skating. It is a Wuthering Heights retelling, and is just, I just really enjoyed it. Told in interviews and things like that as well. So there's different like you can sort of see, can you see different interview styles. It's obviously written in actually let me go right from the beginning so that you can see, so I don't do any spoiler things. But so yeah, so it's written a little bit like that as well, but really good. Just drama on the ice, competition if you like sports competition type books, romance, all of that jazz. I just really enjoyed it. Love Lane Fargo, so can highly recommend that one. And while I was on a holiday, I also read Don't Let Him In, which I think is up there with one of my favourite Lisa Jules. Yeah, it was just so good, about a man who wheedles his way into women's lives, and is just really, really good. I don't know what it is about Lisa Jewell, but I just can't put her books down once I start. So so yeah, could highly recommend them. Anyway, so Halloween spooky reading. So I've got books that are set at Halloween time. I've got and then a bit of a list of books with spooky vibes, slasher vibes, witchy vibes, vampires, and I think that might be it. But yeah, as I go through, all will become clear. So those that are set at Halloween, this is a thriller, Gillian McAllister, Wrong Place, Wrong Time. This is a story about a mum who is looking out the window on Halloween night and sees her son murder somebody. So she then wants to try and figure out what's going on. They go to bed that night. Obviously, he's been in the police station, etc., etc. When she wakes up in the morning, it hasn't happened yet. It's the day before. And the story then goes back in time as she tries to unravel and find out exactly what led her son to kill this person. So good. Such a twist on the usual thriller. It's not gory. It's not that intense. It's just a really, really good story. And if you don't mind the time jumps and things like that, then I can really recommend that one. Halloween doesn't really feature too much in it. It just happens to be Halloween night. But if you're like me and like to read books on a certain night or a certain season, then that one fits the bill there. Next is All Hallows. Now this is more of a spooky make you jump type book by Christopher Golden. The front cover alone should let you know what you're in for. So if you don't like anything too spooky, then I would avoid this one. But this is like family drama on an estate. Father and daughter set up a like route through a Halloween forest for all the neighbours to come every year, and it's their last year in that house, so they've gone all out to set it all up. So as neighbourhoods making their way through the woods and things like that, then obviously things happen. So I really enjoyed it. It wasn't quite as slashery gory as I wanted. I would say that it's more to do with family drama with Halloween elements inside, but I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's another one I can recommend. And then my probably favourite of these three that are set at Halloween is Daisy Darker, actually by Alice Feeney. So I live in Cornwall, so I had to get this one. This is very much, I'm sure, based on St Michael's Mount. Couldn't be anything else, I don't think. But so this is about a family, an estranged family. So I might as well just read the synopsis. Daisy Darker is arriving at her grandmother's house for her 80th birthday. It is Halloween, and Seaglass, the crumbling Cornish house perched upon its own tiny private island, is at one with the granite rocks it sits on. The Darker family haven't all been in the same place for over a decade, and when the tide comes in, they'll be cut off from the rest of the world for 8 hours. When the tide goes back out, nothing will ever be the same again, because one of them is a killer. So thoroughly enjoyed this one. I do like Alice Feeney. I think I've pretty much read all of hers now. My favourite of hers is His and Hers, but I'll probably talk about that in another video. But yeah, so this one's set at Halloween, can highly recommend. And then moving into those that aren't set at Halloween, but if you want certain vibes for the Halloween season, then these next, how many have I got here? 3 are kind of ghostly, spooky vibes. And what I'm also going to do is show you the book that I've read and can recommend, and then show you a book that I think might be a little bit similar, but that is on my sort of, I might read it, I might not this Halloween. So, oh, I did forget to say, Halloween also features in a new release, which is called Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson, who wrote the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. So that's literally just come out. That's set at Halloween, so I'm probably definitely going to be reading that one in October. So, but yeah, spooky vibes, ghostly vibes. One of my all-time favourite books of any genre or whatever is actually Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. The spooky vibes on this cover are amazing. Love it. So this one is 25 years ago. Maggie Holt and her parents moved into Bainbury Hall, a rambling Victorian estate in the Vermont woods. 3 weeks later, they fled in the dead of night, an ordeal the father later recounted in a non-fiction book titled House of Horrors. His horror memoir of ghostly happenings and encounters with malevolent spirits became a worldwide phenomenon, rivaling the Amityville horror in popularity and skepticism. Today, Maggie is a restorer of old homes and too young to remember any of the events mentioned in her father's book, but she also doesn't believe a word of it. Ghosts, after all, don't exist. And she inherits Bainbury Hall after her father's death, and then returns to renovate it. But I won't read any more of the synopsis. But yeah, this is a book within a book. So the book that her father wrote is within this as well. So you get different chapters of. So this is his book, because this says House of Horrors at the top, and then her perspective is just, it says Home Before Dark, which is the name of the book at the top. So but yeah, thoroughly enjoyed this one. This kind of creeped me out a little bit in a good way, so if you like that kind of thing, then I can highly recommend that one. And then this year I might read a Christina Henry, which is The House That Horror Built. So this is about a woman who goes to clean for a revered horror director, and he's got a forbidding Chicago mansion called Bright Horses, filled top to bottom with terrifying props and costumes, etc. He wants her to keep everything secret, but then as she's going around cleaning, she starts to hear voices in the walls, and he lives there alone and has never has any visitors. So that sounds amazing to me. So that's on my maybe read list, maybe read, not to be read, maybe read list this Halloween. Then one that I've read again is Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. So this is about a nanny who goes to work for a wealthy family in the Scottish Highlands, and they have a house which is sort of half traditional, is it Victorian, and half really high-tech house. So yeah, live-in nanny. It's a smart house fitted with all modern conveniences by the beautiful Scottish Highlands and by this picture-perfect family. What she doesn't know is that she's stepping into a nightmare, one that will end with a child dead and her in a cell awaiting trial for murder. Really good. I read this one when I was on holiday and we stayed in a chapel. It was actually in Derby, Peak District, and it just freaked me out. It's probably the setting that I had, even though this isn't a chapel or anything, but the setting that I had probably made this book a little bit more creepier than it was. Was it? Probably not. Actually, I probably still would have been a bit creeped out when I was at home, but this is like a thriller, more than a horror. It's not horror, but if you kind of like a little bit of spookiness, then can highly recommend that one. And then this year, I also have on my maybe read list The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. So this is newly married, newly widowed Elsie is sent to see out her pregnancy at her late husband's crumbling country estate, The Bridge. With her new servants resentful and the local villagers actively hostile, Elsie only has her husband's awkward cousin for company, or so she thinks. For inside her new home lies a mysterious wooden figure, a silent companion that bears an unsettling resemblance to Elsie herself. Puppets, masks, anything like that freak me right out. So I'm looking forward to that one. Then I also read a couple of years ago this one called From Below, which is Darcy Coates, and this is a film crew who are visiting the wreck of a ship, I guess like the Titanic, and they go down and they want to discover what happened and just film down there and find out secrets and things, and then that turns ghostly spooky as well. Really enjoyed this one. And then with a similar vein, so on this year's maybe read list is Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant, and this one is 7 years ago. It's the name of a ship, the Atagatis set off on a voyage to the Mariana Trench to film a mockumentary bringing to life ancient sea creatures of legend. It was lost at sea with all hands. Some have called it a tragedy, others have called it a hoax. Now a new crew has been assembled to investigate, and they'll discover that whatever is down there is definitely no joke. So this is quite a thick one, but yeah, looking forward to that. Mira Grant is the pen name for somebody else who I can't think of what the name is, but she's written other books under another name. If I can remember, I'll put it here. But yeah, looking forward to that one. So then we move into, so that's all spooky kind of ghostly type vibes. Moving on into slasher, so if you like your slasher films, then I can highly recommend The Curse of the Reaper by Brian McCauley. This one I thought was absolutely brilliant. It's basically, if you think of the Freddy Krueger films, and you think of the actor who played Freddy Krueger, now in this book, that person who played the Reaper is in horror films is getting on, and it was a big franchise, lots of different films. They're about to film another one, and they've decided to ditch him and bring in a young actor to play the Reaper. He is not happy about it, and so this new actor also has issues, and it's just you've got both points of view, and it's slasher, as you can expect, is a little bit gory. So if you don't like any of that, then probably don't read this one. But if you do like a bit of gore, then go into it. But it's also quite psychological as well, which I really, really enjoyed. And Brian McCauley has another book coming out quite soon. I'll put a picture of it here because I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, really looking forward to reading that one too. I really liked his writing style. So yeah, if you like a bit of slasher, then yeah, I would definitely recommend reading that one. And then on my maybe list is Where He Can't Find You, which is Darcy Coates again. And this one says, don't walk alone or the Stitcher will find you. Abby Ward lives in a town haunted by disappearances. People vanish, and when they're found, their bodies have been dismembered and sewn back together in unnatural ways. But is it the work of a human killer or something far darker? So I'm not going to read any more of that. I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And it has, I think it's YA more than adult. Yeah, I don't know. It's got not many pictures in it, but I think that just breaks up the parts of the book. But yeah, really looking forward to diving in to that one. I've had quite this on my shelf for quite a while. In fact, some of these have been on my shelf for quite a while, so it probably is about time that I got around to reading them, really, isn't it? So that was your slasher. Then witchy vibes. So you've probably, if you're a thriller reader, then you may have already read The Burning Girls by CJ Tudor. She's one of my favourite authors. The Chalk Man, I will never forget reading the opening of The Chalk Man. It was just jaw-dropping for me. I was like, what? So this leans more, I guess, into horror. She's kind of like, probably not as gory as Stephen King, but she read an awful lot of Stephen King books when she was growing up. So yeah, if you don't particularly like gory stuff, then probably don't read it. Although The Burning Girls as such, I have to say, I can't actually remember, but it was a Netflix program as well. So if you wanted to watch it on TV, then there's that option. But yeah, witchy vibes, obviously. Burning Girls, all about a village where years and years ago, a group of, like, many years ago, young girls were murdered because they were felt to be witches. And then more recently, more girls have been murdered, and then it's kind of like unraveling all of that that's taken place. But it's really good, so really enjoyed that one. On my maybe pile is CJ Cook's The Book of Witching. This one is set in Scotland, and it's Glasgow 2024. Clem waits by her daughter's hospital bed. Erin was found on an idyllic beach in Finhallow Bay, Orkney, with catastrophic burns and only one memory. Her name is Nix. But how did she get these burns, and how did her boyfriend end up burned alive? And then Orkney 1594, accused of witchcraft, Alison Balfour awaits trial. The punishment, to be burned alive. Separated by 400 years but bound by the Book of Witching, two women stand imperiled. Can they unlock a centuries-old mystery? And will Finhallow Bay give up its secrets before someone else dies? So that looks quite cool. CJ Cook also has The Lighthouse Witches, which I haven't read, and The Ghost Woods, which I haven't read. Actually, she's done quite a few. I won't rattle them all off, but always along the sort of spooky vibes. So yeah, that should be a good one. What else have I got? One more, which is vampires. I mean, I'm going to mention the OG. If you haven't read Twilight, then why not? Why not use this year as the year to read Twilight, or watch it if you wanted to? But The Gathering is by CJ Tudor, again, set in an Alaskan like town, obviously miles and miles away from anywhere. And it's set in a world where people know that vampires exist and they have to try and live alongside each other. But a body has been found in this town, and this, I think she's a forensic detective, something like that, is sent there to investigate, and it's whether it's a vampire that's done it or whether it's something else that's killed this person. Really, really interesting, like world building in the way that humans have to live with vampires, and it's and how that actually works, the logistics of all of that. I found quite interesting that she'd built. So yeah, if you do like vampire type books, then that would be a good one. And then on my maybe read list, probably not what you're expecting from me, I don't have any other vampire books that are like horror thrillers on my list, but I do have a romance. My roommate is a vampire, so I might just read this one as well this year. So yeah, I mean, I think the title says it all. My roommate is a vampire, so probably don't really need to read the synopsis, but there's a spark between them, and there's also a secret. With true love at stake, will Frederick come clean with his secret? So yeah, I just thought that one might be quite a fun read. But I think that is everything. So hopefully you've got some ideas for books that you might want to add to your sort of September, October reading lists. And yeah, I think that is everything. So I've got a big pile of patterns to work on, and I've got a big pile of books to get through. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, do all the jazz and everything, and happy stitching, and I will see you next time. Bye.